you bracing Purser, trying to hold him in place even with the chains, because well, his contributions to the party is typically hitting things really hard, and this is not the time for that. So
That's fair. That's fair. Seems like hitting her very hard is less helpful than typical. It could be, you don't know, but fair enough. And if that is it for you, we will go to Balthazar. Uh, what would Lord Haldren want to do?
Guess I'll continue to try to coax her to calm. Yeah. Probably to say, we're not here to hurt you, like my friend over here said. We're here to return your artifact and and quell all any ill will.
Okay. Can
Persuasion.
yeah, persuasion or something else if you can think of a reason.
And I forgot, tons of funds. Persuasion is a 7, right? Or a 6.
I think it's a 6. Uh, I think it's one more than yours, whatever. That's
Yeah.
named. Yeah.
15? It's not bad.
Okay. Yeah. 15 isn't terrible. Let me look at the thing. What did I have? Yeah, I would say she seems to be calming down enough now that I mean the storm is still going, but like you can see the trees are no longer like nearly bending over and like nearly being ripped out of the ground outside a little further. Seems like the storm's intensity is definitely calming down. Uh, and yeah, that counts as a success. You get the feeling you're very close to getting her to at least listen to. Well, she's already kind of listening to reason, but this is at least listen as opposed to just react emotionally. Um, and Purser, with that in mind, um, she seems a lot more approachable. And I know you said you can't talk. You could just type something if you're truly occupado, or just roll persuasion if you just want to do that. It's fine too.
Bring who? I can't remember if I brought my backpack or not.
Okay. Wow. Look at that. All right. Um, yeah, sitting next to her, you know, speaking in soothing tones and doing his best to calm this distressed elemental, once a young woman. It seems like the wrath of the storm, or just the raw energy pulsing out, um, recedes, and there is now just uh, person is a strong term in the whole creature type, but with that, the weather calms, the rain gradually tapers off, and the wind slows to a humid breeze blowing across the cliffs as the sky clears. Storm Maiden has calmed down enough for a full reply or full explanation, what have you. And
It's impressive he did that since he doesn't know Elvish.
he does know Elvish.
Oh,
There was a
fine.
long discussion that he was forced to learn Elvish through exposure to Elvish folk. uh, um, and let's see. Explain the situation. Ask what she wants. Okay, all right. Um, that is a fair thing to ask. She doesn't seem to be able to speak per se, but that doesn't mean she can't comprehend things. She just doesn't seem to have the ability to actually form words anymore. But she can certainly communicate. You know, you can pantomime things, stuff like that. Uh, and listening to what you said with wide eyes and taking in the words, um, she is, let's see. Normally have Bemi do this, but he's not here. Can I get a across the board not intuition, insight check? There we go. Just to kind of like puzzle together her charades dance or what have you. Okay, good start. 16. We'll just do a group check for this for insight. This isn't going to be like a colossal failure no matter what. It's just a matter of figuring out what she's saying. Okay. 5, 11, and an insight check from Mercy, if you would be so kind. And I'll roll one for Benny. Well, let me see what he has. I don't want to deliberately hamstring it here. Let's see, insight. Wow, Benny has a +9 for insight. All right, he's gonna roll it. Does he have a plus whatever?
He had to become insightful with Mima.
Yeah, as I say.
Okay. Well.
So about hamstringing us.
Oh, I try. Hey, you know what? The numbers were on his side. Mercy, you want me to roll for you, or? Oh, sorry, I didn't see the thing. Okay. I'm assuming you're going with a reroll for the 21. Okay.
No, I clicked it twice and then it finally went through.
Ah, okay, gotcha. 5, 11, 16. Worse. Okay. It's hard to get a lot of details about it. But I will say that the priestess is able to piece together some of it. You know, some of the like, we'll say cultural things where it's like, you know, oh, when you make a circle with your finger, then that means this, or blah blah blah, things like that. So you get the impression that the Storm Maiden wants to stay free and awake, which is a risk, but it's that seems to be what she wants out of this. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Is that
Like,
bad? Is
well,
that like a bad thing she stays awake? Because I don't mind it so far.
I mean, it's up to you guys if you take it as a bad thing. She seemed like, obviously, if she has a complete breakdown or is truly terrified, bad things could happen. But I mean, on the other hand, uh, it shouldn't cause, well, it shouldn't be too bad if she's not. She's not going to destroy the whole island. It's just a bad storm might hit.
No
But
one's
on the
gonna
other
take her.
hand,
No one's gonna take her little relic anymore since there's a spirit right there.
well, they are. It's already been moved, so it's like if she's apparently comfortable staying here, you could definitely let her do that. Or you could say, hey, we don't want a potential, you know, hurricane just erupting off the coast. It's really up to you guys how you would like to handle it. Okay. So I think we can arrange that she is corporeal. Yeah, I mean she manifests. So yes, she is corporeal. She does have a physical form when within a certain range of this, of her like shrine altar thing. For our one audience member, hi future Sam, Dan is currently typing. All right, we'll have to look into the interactions with the Stormspire. Purser's not going to send her back to torture. Just for clarification, it doesn't seem to actually be torture, but it's basically medically induced coma. She's just asleep. Ooh, okay. I am sorry to hear that. I remember hearing about the ear infection. Can't move your jaw. That's the spicy thing. I hope you feel better soon.
Get that
For
fixed as
multiple
soon as
reasons.
possible. Get that fixed. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
slightly
I
deaf in
don't
my
know
left
if you
ear
knew
because of
that.
one.
That's bad. You should try and address that at some point.
Yeah, I
But
didn't get it fixed in time, so I'm slightly deaf in my left ear now.
Ooh. Um, but all right, let's see here. Okay, yeah, so I hear 2 votes for um, you know, keep her free with one caveat of make sure that like her being near the storm spire doesn't like artificially juice her into demigod status or something, but that's a pretty reasonable thing. What does Mercy and Jotazo think about letting the spirit stay free and not be like I said, just kind of put I would say to sleep, that has connotations. Put in a comatose state for another couple thousand years.
Yeah, Mercy
I
has feelings about indentured servitude and being
Yeah,
forced into a purpose. So she's of the opinion of if we can let her free, let's let her free.
okay, okay. So that's 3. Jotazo, what is your take?
What would like it? Is this some? Is there like an equivalent of a scenario like this in wizard folk culture?
That's a good question. I suppose a good equivalent would be letting the 1 sec here, let me find the creature name so my thing has good it would be like the equivalent of letting the a herd of thunder calls like be relatively near to your like near your tribe or something, where it's like they have unnatural abilities and they can be crazy fucking dangerous. On the other hand, they're not inherently malevolent, as long as you don't like go. It's basically a herd of elephants. Like if you go agitating the shit out of them,
elephants.
they could be dangerous. But typically, if you don't harass them, they're not going to hurt you. And if you can basically set up some kind of back and forth relationship, they could even be a benefit. Um, but it would be safer to drive them away because if something spooks them, you have a bunch of like elephant-sized dinosaurs with sonic blasts that could potentially just like trample through the village. So it's that's what comes to mind for me and how Jotazo might interpret it. I'm open to a better
Also,
one, but
I forgot. Was this like a binding that was done by the Volcori or the Sulitar?
this was a Volcori thing out of like from what you've gathered, like she's been kind of reluctant about going into details. It's kind of an old shame for the Volcori actually, where uh they had a warlord, a Volcori warlord on the island
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
mainland, and
You
he
told me this before. It's just I forgot big
so
exactly who
they
it was.
so they
Now it's
yeah,
called
they were the
Mac.
ones who bound it. Um
Yeah. In that case, he was already leaning towards doing the you know, basically, going with Purser, but you know, this is one of those things where judging how far away it is from Mishann, let alone like Amatalax, he is, especially as someone who has also been like in prison before, or slash enslaved. It, you know, she is dangerous and powerful. But if she stays here, I see no reason she can't be free.
okay. Yeah. In that case, Let's see. Does anyone have any objections if like I know he can't say it in person, ear infection, but I imagine Purser's the one who like gently says this while trying to, not get blasted off. Um, okay, setting up. You would need to move the shrine, but you could definitely propose that if you'd like to. Um, but at this point, she trusts you well enough that if you want to move her shrine to like the top floor of like the 300-foot high spire, or not spire, 300-foot high lighthouse, you could definitely do that. Um, she would, like I said, you guys have convinced her at least that you don't mean harm and that you're not like you're saying you're not going to lock her up again. So let me take a gander here. Yeah, all right. Then in that case, there is a rush of air filled with the wet leaves from the jungle, shimmering green in the moonlight that you can now see. That greenish light surrounds Purser, and the wind seems to flow into him. And Purser, you can feel a connection with the skies and energy of Eberron itself. A small mark appears on the inside of your wrist in the shape of a cloud. You now have the Charm of the Storm, a one-time power. I'll thing up here. And she will absolutely allow you to move her shrine. Let me put it under notes. Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree to move it, so just I don't want to put her in a coma though.
Yeah, like I said, as long as you're the first people asking her to move her shit. Like she was in a coma and someone moved her hospital bed from the hospital to like, Nebraska somewhere, and she woke up confused and scared. So, um, but yeah, you guys can start taking her back. The priestess and leader of the Soul Speakers tribe, Selra, looks genuinely impressed as you guys like take the altar and move it. Um, she like this is the first time you've seen her look impressed since she found out that half the party had no idea who Bemi's Meemaw was. She says, "I did not think it was possible to calm a store maiden when she'd become this destructive. Um, Maybe it's because you're outsiders, but it is another mark in your favor, even if your folk tend to have the giant sickness." And let's see. And yeah, she'll say, yeah, she'll nod. She definitely understands religious stuff, telling you to do weird. So she says, the Storm Maidens have been a source of shame for my people since the Ripping Fang's failure. If you can give her something like a home, all the better. And for her part, Het de Torn, the Orcish Thrask Scion, House Thrask Scion, is like as you guys come back with, with hauling the shrine, she just seems gobsmacked at that you were able to pull this off. Um, uh, she does ask Selra through like one of you would have to act as a translator because part of the problem is she couldn't talk to this woman any more than Mercy could. So that was like that was a big part of the Storm Maiden going into full breakdown mode was she Het is going to ask Selra if the priestess is willing to share what her people know of primal and binding magics. Which yeah, Selra's willing to. She seems willing to accept Ket's interest in Volcori traditions, agrees to some exchange of the ideas, especially when Ket mentions the gatekeepers and what they specialize in, binding otherworldly threats. Which Selra just assumed she was like some another weird outlander with giant sickness, but yeah, a different druidic tradition is definitely welcome. Um, so you facilitated at least some magical slash religious cross pollination there. Could have interesting effects. Um, and when you get back to the ship, you find Lalu and Bravejo of the Riverwolf clan waiting for you. The Orcish hunter is like visibly annoyed about the quality of the hunt thus far. Like you, it's been a good fight, but you brought him here with promises of hunting. Um, he like almost paying almost no attention to the fact that you're hauling an enormous like stone, deconstructed stone altar. Or not enormous, but pretty sizable. Like that, you're basically hauling like a kitchen table. Um, Lalu seems willing to entertain all of this. It, or mostly to spend time around Purser, who she clearly expects to visit later on if Purser is willing to indulge and suffer for the party. Yeah. But does anybody else have anything they need to do or want to do now that they've resolved the issue, or are you willing to sail back to Mishann?
I see no reason staying here, so I guess Mishann.
Okay, okay. I mean,
With our
yeah,
luck, with our
there's not
luck, we'll
much
be
here.
attacked by
Yeah.
monsters. So you know,
Swarms of monsters. Yeah, but between here and I'm not saying I'm above doing that, but I
50
I try
Sulagan
not
by the
to
time we
lean
get
in.
there.
Yeah, I try not to lean into the like the moment you get on a boat trope where it's like, you know, there there a kraken rise. DM, we're 5 miles outside of town. A kraken rises from the
By point
sea.
stands,
Yeah,
it's a Kraken. It does whatever the fuck it
it,
pleases.
that's true. That is objectively true. But nothing such happens. You mostly are going back like the waters are still choppy and a little iffy, but it's no longer going through like hurricane storms. Um, but yeah, you arrive back at Mishan, say it's probably about 9. It's clear the gala has finished, and Timok Veldrin de Thrashk, the fellow who hired you initially, is anxiously waiting for you at the docks. Um, like he was just hiring you originally to patch some stuff up, and then he found out that one of his house members may be responsible for some bad shit, so he's kind of nervous as hell. Um, but yeah, as the ship docks, you step off. He's visibly relieved that everyone's alive, and quickly speaks with 2 members of his house before approaching you. And says, "You have my utmost thanks. Ah, Ket and Bravaho were a bit sparse on the details, but they did tell me you managed to solve the problem, at least with the elemental that was unleashed." Let me- Oh, okay, I see. I recommend they make use of actual local guides in the future. Eh, Yeah, he would nod, is like almost excessively at those. That's very much our intent. We'll try and reach out among the southern tribes rather than northern. Uh,
Uh, Jotaro nods before chiming in. Yes, the Suatar are all thieves and liars. You should not trust them.
well,
Oh,
I will keep that
okay,
in
okay.
mind.
Kyoto, I understand you're really into our culture, but you don't gotta inherit that part.
He's
No,
adding that part
I have,
on.
yeah, no, Wise Baltazar. This is a view I shared well before I ever met Vakuravar.
And
They have always been thief elves to us.
yeah, freed slave from the Antebellum South is probably not going to have a great view of Dixie culture. Uh, that's fair. And let's see here. Yeah, he said he will add With all of this, were you able to figure out who was it that made an already bad situation worse? Do you have any idea who the culprit was? In stealing that? Why do you have that? As he sees one of you like unloading the shrine.
Made a deal.
All right. But who was it that did this?
To be fair, I don't really know myself, but it's a Storm Maiden.
Well, he's asking which one of his house members like caused this problems. And I do Purser did to be fair, you guys did make assurances no one would need to know when you like helped out. The culprit here in this case was just kind of somebody dabbling in something she didn't understand, but there wasn't necessary malevolence behind it. But um her boss is basically asking like, "Hey, did you find out who actually did this?" Or which it's up to you guys if you want to tell on her or if you want to let this one kind of slide. Um, it's one of those hardy decisions.
I mean, just so it's gonna follow the lead of like the party, and especially like Purser. So
Okay, fair enough. And Purser is typing. I do appreciate. No need to rat her out as long as Thrash keeps control of their people. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, because it's if you want to keep it hidden, it's just like, no, we couldn't figure out exactly who. Problems resolved. Don't worry about it. You could go that route. Revisit it if it continues to be a problem. Yeah, if she does this
Yeah, it
again, then
works.
Yeah,
obviously.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like we've handled the situation.
Okay, yeah. Um, then she is going to say, or that, yeah, then he is going to say in that case, he just kind of like, sweeps his head back a little bit in the heat. Which, to his credit, he doesn't seem nearly as bothered by the ever-present humidity of Mishann as a lot of the newer people visiting. Um, but he says, "Well, that's a shame, but you solved the problem regardless. Problem I didn't even know I had. Here's the rest of your pay. Uh, if things are, even if things are still difficult between the Finders Guild and the tribes, southern tribes, Volcori, you've more than earned it. And I want you to remember that House Thrash pays its debts."
Please? No.
So,
No.
yeah, you guys get the second half of the 5K that you were promised. And he doesn't doubt your story that you didn't find who did it. And he does ask though, like before he kind of ambles on his way, if if questions arise about all of this from the governess or the prince, I would consider it a personal favor if you left out some details. I'm dealing with any issues internally as much as possible. If you could simply explain this was caused by a powerful native elemental and leave it at that, it would avoid killing this branch of the Finders Guild before it even gets off the ground.
I not just as though nods in agreement before adding, yes, it would be a shame if a plot by a Suatar, especially the Pekway, was to succeed.
Yeah, he blinks a little bit about that, not knowing the significance, but yeah, that makes perfect sense. Um, does anybody else have opinions? Oh, I see. Okay. Uh, Revisit it. Zendrik is a dangerous place. There isn't often more need for detail than that. That's fair. Yeah. Um, Also very diplomatic. So
Mm-hmm.
so's Jotazo's, to be honest. And yeah, this is very much like the local branch of the corp is asking for you guys not to report that they accidentally fucked up the like they were trying to their credit, they were trying to behave, but they did do some fuckery. Um, yeah, that's fair. But given that things tended to work out okay, so I hear two voices for basically just, I won't say cover it up, but just leave it off the books.
Yep.
Um,
And if all else fails and they really piss us off, we can always tell them.
yeah, that's also that's some potent bribery options here, which this guy has to know when he's asking for this. Okay, so that's three. Mercy, do you have alternating opinions or yay or
No,
nay
I
type thing?
concur.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, he's definitely relieved about that. And like it's still not a great situation. He did like the branch that he was so insistent on founding is looking rough, but at least he didn't doom it at its infancy by taking advice from the wrong people. So, let's see here. Yeah, with that, Timok is going to depart with the other two members of his house that were with you. Uh, she's trying not to be too obvious about it. She's obviously not used to lying, but Ket is does give you a very quiet thank you before she leaves for not ratting her out. And let's see here. Yeah, with that, you guys have resolved the issue. Setting up the shrine at the top of the lighthouse isn't much of an issue, really. It's a big enough thing that like you don't need to put it directly in front of the magical light, so there's like a weird silhouette. And the Storm Maiden manifests after you've set it up and looks out from this serious vantage point and seems relatively satisfied with um, the view, if nothing else. I see Dana's typing. Although you can't tell right away if there's any interaction between her and the Storm Spire. She hasn't exploded, so set up a suite on the top floor and work on some magical solution balloon influence. Okay, yeah, that's fair. It's possible that her and the Storm Spire could like feed into each other. It could be beneficial or not. But either way,
And if we get sieged again, who knows? Maybe she can help us.
yeah, turn the Storm Spire from a like really useful weather option to just hit a button and hurricanes click on. So
That's outside of the little bubble, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
In case anyone tries anything again.
yeah. Fair enough. But with that, let's see. Um, yeah, is there any? It's about 9 o'clock at night. Uh, yeah, that's fair. You guys can visit her. You could have people from the group visitor, but yeah, she's not a prisoner. She just doesn't seem. Even if like you don't even need to explain that. She doesn't really feel. You're not sure she can leave too far from her altar, and like she seems to just kind of dematerialize if she walks too far from it or travels too far from it. And on top of it, she's pretty like this is an alien culture and it's like 10,000 years after her time, so she's pretty lost. Um, but yeah, she definitely seems as content as one could be in that situation. But do you guys want to talk to anybody else in Mishann for tonight? Like I said, it's about 9 o'clock. The gala has ended. The day's holiday is over, with weather returning to the norm. But other than that, you can take a rest. A well-deserved one, considering it was supposed to be a holiday. Can't have nothing. Make sure to spend some time with Lalu. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely open to visiting you in the nocturnal hours. Although she finds, again, your insistence on like sleeping the night away obnoxious, or even part of it. But yeah, the next day, weather has returned to normal, and the town of Mishann has returned to normal as well, or mostly normal. There's the notable change of, uh, a powerful elemental at the top of your tower, and Prince Orgev living in the town. So it seems that he has moved. John, map here. Uh, he has moved into the old Saavedra estate, which was kind of left open after having his bodyguard / arcane consultant, Lady Cieli Usul, inspect it for the safety on the recommendation of the governess, who said, yeah, don't stay there, but if you're going to, check it extensively to make sure that it's not going to collapse on you or something. But according to his arcane consultant, the place is stable enough to live in, at least. So that's you now have a bit of a VIP as a neighbor, so to speak. Um, but mid-morning,
My prince, we have a living hurricane to defend you.
yeah, you could knock on his door, but there's not a ton of need for it because mid-morning the MKA receives a letter, probably at the headquarters, from the prince requesting your group's presence for a luncheon this afternoon.
Will it be unforgettable?
He didn't include that, but it probably will be. Yeah, I'd imagine.
Seymour, there's a hurricane in our house. No, mother, that's just a storm maiden.
Yeah, that's fair. Good Lord, what is happening in there? Oh, no, it's just a storm
The Aurora Borealis at
maiden.
this time of year, in in an equatorial jungle.
But with all that, if you guys accept, you can arrive and for a meal and some royal company, if you're willing to tolerate it. Probably
Yeah,
not
I'll go.
squealing for mercy now that I think about it. The meal thing is always a bit of a lost little purchase. Like, I can watch him eat.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. I assure you, it would be awesome if you could eat. Yeah. On the other hand, Warforged would still be a pretty sweet deal. But yeah, you guys head in that case. If there's no dissenting opinions, there's no reason not to meet with the prince. Especially, yeah. I mean, realistically, probably a good idea to come when royalty calls. So, the estate's as impressive as you remember it, with pure white walls, about 3 stories high. You're let inside after Orgev's 2 guards insist that you leave things like weapons and arcane focuses in a lockbox by the foyer that they give you the key to. They have an idea of how adventurers think. At least during your meeting with the prince, you're not to go in armed and ready to kill the shit out of pretty serious threats. Um, like at this point, you guys probably could kill him barehanded, but they do. That is a condition of meeting, this guy for a meal. Um, is that something that the party is willing to indulge?
Of course.
Yeah, it seems about right.
Okay, fair enough. I just
I
I
wanted
don't
mean,
see why not.
it's a little alien to Judge Itself because he's it's definitely one of those things of like it's a newfangled idea that he's starting to like the idea of, even though it's like kind of alien because naturally like he's
that
used
would
to like of course like a war chief isn't like you wouldn't leave your weapons behind the medium war chief because a
It
war
would be
chief could
disrespectful.
pummel
Yeah. Yeah.
could pummel the shit out of you, with or without your weapons. Otherwise, you want to be war chief. But like the idea that like your best thinkers and stuff would leave a nation. That's rather than necessarily becoming like shamans and like that's he
That's
likes
worth
that.
putting up some eccentricities for. Putting up with some eccentricity. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, then Orgev has set up the dining hall. It looks like it's kind of a mix of an audience room and dining hall. He's waiting for you inside. There is a pretty impressive meal laid out on the table. Well, you've definitely seen like finer, those of you who've been to like uh Dragon Mark House galas and or festive events, but it does seem all very high quality, even if it's a little more humble. Um, uh, it's laid out on the table with the prince seated at the head. He gives a smile when he sees you and says, "Welcome, MKA. Please feel free to take a seat wherever you please. Just don't. I hope you don't mind a late lunch. Since the morning, I've been forced to conduct business during meals since my schedule's never empty."
All right.
Right.
It's fine by me.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Dan here. I see you typing. Make sure to sit between Joseph and the prince to learn. All right. That's
Corb.
the longest fork is to scratch your ass with. No, 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 no. Um, uh, and incidentally, memes aside, they probably would ask for your holy symbol, given that like they know very well that you're a fucking temple. Uh, but yeah, the food is served by what seem to be living shadows emanating from Lady Osul. Um, it's Cursor, I would say you could probably interpret this as like a variant of the um what is that? Invisible Servant spell. Um, but she seems to be able to just, puppet things with shadows. Uh, which incidentally, I just realized I don't think I put the pictures of those two bodyguards up. I will do that now. Game images, here we go. Eberron Mishann, images, NPCs. There we go. This is his Warforged bodyguard, Jake Shield. And this is the noblewoman with almost unnaturally pallid skin and very, very dark hair. Who's apparently his arcane advisor. Also slash bodyguard. But yeah, with that you all take your place at various seats. Um, some of you kind of minding others, but sit down. The meal is an excellent one. Mostly made from locally grown goods. Seems to be a point. Main course is roasted tusked rooter made with something like a spicy barbecue sauce with potatoes, um, kormar fruit, and corn fritters. Um, Dessert is going to be a cake flavored with Corvera nuts and Pilotasol, aka vanilla, imported from the Sulatar, and a melon and prickly pear sorbet served with a date wine. So yeah, it's not the fanciest meal you've had, but it is of excellent quality. And as I said, other than one or two embellishments here, he seems to be going for locally made. Um, but food is
Your
served by.
Majesty,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Your Majesty, I must admit that this food presentation is amazing. It is quite pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, he nods and smiles a bit ruefully. I've heard similar things from my companion here, Jake Shield. I gave up. It's I've yet to give up inviting him to sit down, but he always says something polite. Um, I'm aware that this is not something you can indulge in, but I appreciate you entertaining the custom. Um, as the Warforged, the hulking Warforged behind him nods sagely. Apparently, this is a bit of an ongoing joke between him and the guy. Um, but yeah, once everyone's eating or watching others eat, the prince begins explaining when he's finished with his course. I heard about your adventure last night. While most folk were enjoying the gala, you were solving a problem with a local elemental.
Indeed, was a bit of a challenge, but it worked.
Clearly, and quite commendable. I took some time to look through your list of accomplishments here in Mishann. It's really incredible. You established peaceful contact with the southern Volkori, I believe they're called, tribes. One of your members even started a trading company with them. Then you went north and acted as both ambassadors and diplomats of the highest order. You even put an end to a civil war that the realm was suffering from, ensuring Mishann was spared from much more organized attacks. If you don't mind me asking, why did you do all this? From what I understand, only one of you was originally from Sire. And the prince looks just kind of, it's a general question, but he does seem to expect some kind of answer from like each person, even if it's seemed the thing to do, or he's just kind of trying to get a feel for you guys. You guys have a hell of a resume, and he's trying to get a feel for each person.
Well, for me, of course, I'm assuming you know why. You invited me, so I wanted to make my new home as neat, clean as possible.
That's fair. And yours wasn't a mystery, but as I said, it's I always try to I always try to get a feel for these things. Hearing people answer gives a better insight into things.
I
And
go where people need help, Your Majesty, and people needed help here.
that is true, and I appreciate your honesty. And he glances at Jotaro.
Wise prince, I, I hope Mishann, as I believe Mishann can be an example for lizard folk. Too long, my people have only known two ways: the way of the thief elves and our old traditional ways, which is to unorganized and fragile. Occasionally, we produce a mighty war chief that can pay the Sulatars back for their crimes, but it never lasts more than a generation. I hope that Sean can be a teacher that my people can follow. We can build a lasting peace where we no longer have to fear the Thethos.
Yeah, he nods at that, listening very intently, and says, "Well, I I will do my utmost that my people live up to your opinion of us." And at Purser's answer, um, he he does give kind of a rueful smile at description of it as cursed. Uh, well, let's hope not quite cursed, but I definitely understand the sentiment. I doesn't seem as if it's been an easy road to walk thus far. Um, and we'll say Bemi had business and couldn't come to the party. But um, yeah, he'll like I said, he just kind of wanted to hear what you guys were said, no matter what it was. He says, apologies if it was a bit on the spot, but in my experience, people reveal more about themselves with open-ended questions than simple ones. I wanted to get a better sense of all your motivations. I'll admit I've had excellent luck with adventuring parties thus far, and I'm hoping. Uh, do you prefer MK or McKay?
MK, Your Majesty.
MK.
Just
I'm
please.
hoping MK could once again handle some very important tasks for the future of Mishann and the Siren
It's
people.
the initials of our adventuring party.
Oh, mercy something.
And yeah, if depending on what you guys say, it's or is this like an everyone's got food in their face moment, or like, oh, I see. Okay, I see. Purser's talking. Service of the colony and the Siren crown. Um, yeah, he nods. He nods at that and says, "Well, that's good to hear. Um, because this is a request from both. I would like you to establish formal diplomatic relations with the realm of Stormreach and its 5 ruling families. The main goal would be for the city's recognition of Mishann as an ally and inheritor of as many of Sire's old agreements as we can reasonably fulfill. This will help legitimize us when I eventually bring the matter of statehood to the other 5 nations."
Got Jozozoa nods. What what did he know about shit, drawing a blank on the name.
Treaty of
The
Thronehold?
no, the island we're going to.
Yeah, that's the mainland. You've heard about it. It's it's a little. I won't say it's outside like entirely you guys' knowledge, but it's just not something that was ever relevant any more than like to somebody who lives in like rural Maine than stuff that happens in DC. Like you've definitely heard of it. It's important, but like how relevant it was to your life was not huge. But yeah, you're aware of it. And Stormreach, uh, yeah, you know what? If you learned Common, you would have heard of Stormreach. Yeah, apparently it's a very big Kuravar place on the mainland. It must be a paradise. Um, yeah, that's fair. I see. He says,
Jojozo's already getting the boat ready to go to Kura, go to the mainland.
um, but yeah, at no offense, that's a great deal to put on any group of adventurers. He would nod. It is. And it's that's not all. You'll have full authority as representatives of Mishann and Sire as ambassadors. I this is quite a tall order, but especially with your work in the north, you've proven that you're capable of it if you're willing to take the job on. But before you agree, I should probably um, add the other things. Uh, I would like you to address the population of Siren refugees in Stormreach. Obviously, not all at once. They found shelter in the ward known as Danel's Pride. I understand the entire ward was created by a relative, actually, of the governess decades ago in the aftermath of Horrocks Rebellion and the loss of Southern Sire. Now it's filled with one of the largest remaining populations of our countrymen. I'd like to bring as many of them as possible to Mishann. I'm sure some will want to stay, but they deserve something better than being refugees in a place as brutal as Stormreach. I'd recommend speaking with the closest thing the community has to a leader there, Jelaine Earthavar. Her grandfather spent every coin he had to buy the property that would one day become that ward. That'll hopefully be a bit less strenuous on your diplomatic elements. And the third and final matter involves the lost siren regalia. Eventually, I'll need to hold an inauguration ceremony if I want to reasonably claim the title of King of Sire. But if I want it to hold any real weight, I'll need more than just territory and people. The regalia has been present at every Siren royal coronation since the founding of Galifar. There are 3 pieces, but I only expect one. A patriot back in Corvair has received a valuable tip that the crown of Galifar might have made its way to Stormreach since the morning. If you could retrieve it, I would consider that element of the task accomplished in full.
Diplomatic
And
relations and the crown.
diplomatic relations, crown, and possible refugee transport. It's not a small request. And he says, these are the tasks. These are the entirety of the tasks I hope you'll take on. You'll have, as I said, my full authority as representatives and ambassadors of Mishann and Sire. I recommend leaving sometime in the next month. I know it's quite a journey by sea, so I'll leave the details in your capable hands. And of course, your rewards. I haven't forgotten, and I've worked with adventurers before. If you manage the tasks I've given you, I'll reward you with something no amount of coin can buy, the noble title of Shield. Each of you will be given the title and lands of a Shield of Sire. Lord Haldren, I know that you already have the title. That title, given the loss of your family, like so many of us. But I will grant you the lands to give your old title proper weight. Oh, I see.
Also,
I'm
may
not
I
a
ask, what
yeah.
is a shield?
So a shield is roughly equivalent of 1 sec here. I'll bring up the thing so I don't misspeak, but it's a pretty high-ranking noble title. In Here we go. Nations of Galifar, nations. Here we go. Noble ranks and titles. There's King, Queen, Prince, Princess, Archduke, Archduchess, Grand Duke, Duchess, Duke, Duchess, and a shield. A shield has the same rank as Count, which is the next one down. Ruler of a county, a region within the nation overall, within a duchy. Formerly addressed as Shield of so and so area, but commonly addressed as Count or Countess. Technically, peers with other counts, they're usually afforded extra respect. It's a weird rank between Count and Duke, but it is a pretty respectable one. To answer Purser's question, I'm not sure. That was one of the that bit of the regalia was we were able to keep in Sire during the war, but with the morning it went missing. I wasn't able to get exact verification on how it ended up in Stormreach, but my estimation would be that someone with considerable means purchased it from looters who were tearing through the ruins of Sire.
Your Highness, pardon my impertinence, but I would be allowed to be a shield even though I was on the opposing side during the war.
He smiles. Uh, Given what
Nope.
you've helped the Cyrus people accomplish, as long as you don't
Oh,
turn your weapons against us again, I see no reason to withhold titles to those who have earned them. Sire
war is
needs
over.
nobility.
Not like it matters.
He nods. The war is over, and ideally it will stay over, especially if my people can remove themselves from Korover as a complicating factor. I wasn't sure what was going to happen before the possibility of Mishann was suggested. But that is the job and the reward. Do you have any further questions or requests from me?
Uh,
These are Syrian refugees we're going after, right? Or
Yes.
I'm assuming there's also mourners in the region.
Well, I'm sure many of them consider themselves mourners, yes. They'll be the folk I hope you can bring here to Mishan are our former countrymen. Our
Hopefully.
countrymen.
I don't know if you knew, my prince, but I was one as well. So hopefully I'll be able to at least talk to them.
Yeah. I believe that will be, well, it should be the simplest part of your task. We're definitely offering a better future than anything they could expect in Stormreach. But yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, Jotaro would to circle back a little bit. Yeah, wise ruler. I you know I don't I respectfully wish to point out that I don't think I could be a shield for while I believe we are natural allies and my people have much to learn at the end of the day. Uh, you know, I am loyal to my people first. However, any land that could be given to my people to allow us to build a you know stronger community and help to overcome uh, our past would be appreciated.
That is quite reasonable, and details such as that are certainly something we can arrange for. Just in the territory that was apparently granted without issue, or at least acknowledged from the northern realm, there is plenty of land grants to go out. I don't see any problem with giving, as he's a smart guy, and this is pretty big for him. He takes a moment to remember the name. Amotalax. I don't see any problem with granting Amotalax some type of official rank within the Cyrish nation.
Yeah, I nod to that.
Okay. I'm just waiting on Dan. I'm not like trying to make everyone else feel awkward. I'm just waiting to see
Yeah, it's
what
fine.
Dan's saying.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
for Jotazo. I know it's been a while, but where are the Blister folk now living that we freed and all that?
Amatlax.
Oh, I was
It's
gonna say,
It's upriver.
I
yeah,
was
it's
gonna
like
say if
a
they're still
town down the
if
river. Yeah.
they're still there, we could maybe just give them that land, but that'll work. But that works.
Well, that they already have land there. It's just like more lands and resources and stuff would be the gist of what Joseph is looking for. So he can build like a model community and
Yeah.
potentially get like he. I don't think he thinks he could do it yet, but he is very much trying to build a like you know a cultural heart or a counterbalance to Cirque Soul's shenanigans. I
Yeah.
in his
Yeah.
wildest dreams, he'd love the entire island to you know do that, but he's still very much at a point where you know he's still more on the idea of convincing other chieftains and like to like do the obvious rather than him being that leader himself.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Um, that's a recurring thing in D&D games is like, uh, my my level 20 dwarven priest wants to help rebuild things. Okay, they're gonna look to you to be the king. No, 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 I don't want to be. Okay, who else is it gonna be, dude? But um, yeah, as far as Purser's probably unvoiced doubts, it is a fair assumption that he's at least somewhat aware of your loyalties there, but it's one of those things you guys have proven like you did legitimately something more impressive than what he's asking of you already. Like this is going and dealing with known like group of people who are not particularly liked, but at least somewhat known about in Corvair proper. Um, like you guys handled a completely alien culture and like put an end to the Civil War. That's why he's proposing this to you as like as wildly out of nowhere as it seems. But he is probably aware that you have some alternate loyalties or at least dual loyalties. Um, but probably worth it to like bind you down with some titles here, even if he's got to watch you. Um, but that's just kind of uh, something that could cross your mind.
Yeah,
Uh,
officially make the well cards into allies.
yeah, or at least like if you're a shield, you do like he actually can ask more direct questions about shit if you're like a vassal at all. Um, so
And now we
there's
have a
that.
official skin in the game. We're not likely to do anything.
That's his other thing is he's trying to tie you guys down as much as possible. He does not want you to continue to like, yeah, that like little town slash starting colony is basically run by an adventurers guild. Yeah, that's a good homeland for my people. Um, so it is about 5 days until the next month, Dravago, and he recommended you stay until then, but you definitely don't have to. Uh, this does beg the question, a couple things. How do you want to get there? I know I kind of did a pre-voting thing. There was a lot of calls for ship to the extent where I think that's probably what's going to happen. But
Oh, there's Stormreach.
yeah, it's if you leave from Mishann, it's it's about 18 days if I remember correctly to travel on your ship.
Where's Mima and Caracos?
Yes, Mimo is down here on the southern edge of the
There's
island.
some. They
You could you could definitely go down to see Mimo. Like I said, it's a 5 day trip. Sailing around the island to get to her only takes like 2-3 days, I think, maybe a little longer. Um, you could ask her for transport. I hadn't thought of that, but it's definitely an option. Uh, I'll, person will walk to Stormreach before getting out from Mimo. That is probably somewhat sensible. Uh, but let's see here. Let me give you the actual stuff. All right, yeah. Distance, like I said, about 17 days. With like one stop at this like pimple of an island, probably just to stop for water or just basically a good halfway point. But you could just kind of try and sail around it. Sailing real close to the coast on Zendrick is a little risky because you'll occasionally just hit areas that have the Traveler's Curse, where like getting to
that's that thing where you just, even though you're perfectly on route, you just no, you're no longer going there.
yeah, it's like someone reaches down and flicks your fucking ship, and you're like, how the hell are we on the southern coast? God damn it, that type of thing. Um, Yeah, the Transcend Gate is definitely an option. The I will say from the map, like the info you have is not to use it now. Okay, I was gonna say it's probably a good idea to, as we pass by. Yeah, yeah, no, that's much more wise than trying to just use it because right now all the gates show up as like there's a warning sign over all of them, even though you know at least this one works. So, yeah, the transcend gates, as far as you know, either all work or the map you had for them just needs to be updated. Basically, it's sort of a trial by poking type situation where you're
And
just
does
trying to figure it out.
the traveler's course affect those routes?
Well, that they actually seem to be the source of the traveler's curse. So a pretty good radius around one of those gates that's messed up is probably what's causing the so-called curse. It's just nobody fucking figured it out. Everybody attributed it to dragons, which the dragons weren't real keen on like challenging that opinion. It's far they were the ones who basically broke the system, and there's just been like a malfunctioning dimensional gate system that causes spatial anomalies at random points across the map. And in an indirect way, they kind of caused it. What is it? But from a certain perspective. There we go. Uh, but it's not an actual curse, which is good news. Theoretically, if you went around and either fixed or just completely demolished the gates that were fucked up, you could get rid of the curse. Uh, It's possible. As opposed to like being an epic level spell that the giants just curse the shit out of the land with. But anyways, to underail myself, yeah, you guys could. I think sailing is what seemed like everybody was settling on. That as opposed to the Mima mirror thing, which she can do some pretty quick teleportation with that, but I'd understand if you were leery of going to an ancient hag and asking her to help out. But yeah, 17-day trip from Mishann to Stormreach by using your big power boat.
That's fine. I'm sure. I'm sure Purser has another star, like a star Dave from Dachau to give to her as a payment.
You could, yeah, you could. Well, remember, it's not Bemi's birthday only comes once a year, so it's uh, actually hire a crew for the ship as well. Yeah, you don't need them, but it's probably not a bad idea to have a crew for the ship. I will point out it's certainly capable. It's capable of doing more if you have a proper crew. Like, where is it here?
Yeah, we can use some deckhands and be a backup caster if if they have to move and we're not there.
Yeah. Each of its turns, the Riptider can take 3 actions, choosing from the option below. It can take 2 actions if it has fewer than 30 crew, 1 action if it has fewer than 15 crew. It can't take these actions if it has fewer than 5 crew. So yeah, it's basically the more people you have, the more the ship can do. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, for like they would expect that anyway. Most sailing ships have to, especially something this size, has to have people. Again, hireling that from like, yeah, I mean you could definitely get at least some of the crew from Lyrander's one guild. Zoom in here, just try and see the Windrights Guild. There we go. Yeah, Windrights Guild definitely has hirelings, skilled sailors, a lot of them, skilled and as professional as you're going to get um, anywhere on Zendrick. And so as you guys are planning out, probably looking at maps, um, is there anywhere on the map in general you guys wanted to like? Did you want to immediately follow the coast and hug it, or did you want to like curve way out and like try and avoid any nonsense? Like how did you want to approach? Is there like any unique elements to the route, or did you just want to do the like, you know, this or this or whatever?
Less days on sea, the better for all of us.
Okay. Skilled navigator, more fine going straight across. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, okay. So yeah, a relatively straight route probably is a good idea.
Yeah, and you said that being by the coast was a bad idea, right?
Yeah, hugging the coast is pretty tricky. If you hit one of those cursed zones, then there's a good chance you just end up somewhere you don't want to be.
Yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's just sunken start to the right and straight on till morning.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. That's so just for the record, I gave an answer to the Traveler's Curse, but that's a Keith Baker thing. He wanted Zendrick to be a giant mega dungeon, so there's navigation is tricky. Um, but yeah, plotting out your route, hiring sailors. Um, I'll come up with a number later on, but you're hiring a like 30 plus crew. It's pretty reasonable. Um, that'll definitely. Jesus Christ. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll come up with a number later on and just put it. It's not going to be crazy because you're only hiring them for like 2 weeks. And even at premium prices, it's pretty reasonable. What was I going to say? Oh, while you guys are planning your route and dealing with hiring and stuff, like I said, you have at least 5 days, even until the start of the month. Is there anything you guys want to do in Mishann, personal stuff or what have you, before before the departure date, which you guys set? Like he said, he recommended next month. You could wait a year if you wanted, however you want to do this.
Seems a bit rude. Wait a year.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like it's entirely up to you guys. He's left the details to you. If you guys want to, like, I don't know, try and have 500 barrels of alchemist fire shipped to you or something, or, insanity like that. Yeah, you said you gave us time, so I used it but like, how much can the ship hold? All right, I want to fill the entire hold with alchemist fire. Yeah. I would like to see some kind of magic prosthetic voice situation. Okay. For the elemental storm maiden. Um, I would say reasonably. It the issue with prosthetics for her is the type of thing she is. Most prosthetics are made with humanoid in mind. But a relatively low tech answer is she doesn't have a lot of them, but she does have some of her letters because it's a magically induced. Actually, she'd have all of them. It's a magically induced learning. She can read and write Elvish innately. So it could be as simple as like, she writes out stuff on chalkboard that if you want to communicate with her. Um, that's definitely an option. And yeah, a minor illusion item is definitely, I think, within the Dragon Marked House's options. It's premium to get it for someone who, like, for just anyone use, but it's definitely doable. A cantrip spam item is possible. Um, and yeah, I'll come up with something later. It's probably a House Fjarlin item. Um, but yeah, you can definitely get her a speak and spell type thing. See what I did there? And let's see, while you guys are waiting, Bemmy gets a message, uh, which we'll go through that later. Realistically, he could get it while he's on the ship as well. Uh, Purser, with the monthly delivery of packages and mail, you're surprised to get not only a thick letter on fine paper, sealed with the symbol of the Church of the Silver Flame, but it is given to you by a young half-elf woman in the uniform of the Order of the Pure, which is your order. Uh, she hands it to you with a grave expression. She looks like she's barely holding back enthusiasm. A blessed day, Prefect Talon. I was assigned to be your acolyte and assist you wherever possible, and I will send you the letter. Let's see, Archbishop Communications. Check the noises here in a minute.
I know while you're looking stuff up, Mercy would just really be concerned with just making sure that someone is running her garden and chemistry shop.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely possible. Honestly, you have been helpful enough. Like you've been the main potion maker besides their in-shop stuff for the Clan Gwynedd shop that was opened, that they would send one of their workers to go handle the watering and care of your place no matter what. Because you're their like biggest producer that isn't, a clan member. So
Yay!
cool. Yes.
Yeah. I'll say one of the things Joseph is going to start doing with his downtime is like very much he is like he learned so much from the core the people of Corvair that he wants to he's going to start using the like wealth and stuff he's been like gathering as well as like influence, so to speak, to like have like basically the equivalent of like teenager and uh, like young adult wizard folk travel to Mishann to like start apprenticing with like especially with some of the now that like some minor industry and stuff is coming to Mishann, very much a like the things that he's starting to think, engineering, that sort of thing. Trying to get, younger lizard folk to like start learning about, like either as apprentices or like quick studies,
Yeah, at
like,
like a House Cannith workshop, or did you want any of them to check out the do you want any of them to check out the militia and like train the militia, which has just gotten a big boost in the arm from Blade Mark Soldier? Like a lot of Last War vets recently joined as their contract with House Deneath expired, which was like the deal. They went right from being Deneath mercenaries to joining the Mishann militia army, whatever you want to call it. It's grown a little
yeah,
past militia at this point.
yeah, like very much that, or, Ludger's unit. Like, I mean, it's probably one of the things that he's I doubt he's going to be able to get much at this point because but not only does he have to convince people in the shop, he has to convince like the lizard folk to actually,
I will
you know,
say it's a downhill thing to convince your fellow lizard folk because they don't worship the ground you walk on, but this is a culture where not only have you proven that you're very strong, you like immediately you're in with powerful people. They're not falling over themselves to kiss your feet, but they are very comfortable like, oh, if Jotazo says, yeah, yes, they'd paint themselves purple at this point if you told them it was a good idea. Like they're
it
following
makes
your
us
lead.
sneakier, just like
Yeah,
our scouts should be painted red.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's a core of our tradition, I've heard. Um,
Yeah,
but
you're a couple countries off.
but and did you want to do? You told me at one point, I don't know if you wanted to pursue it, the Valkorian Thrashed thing. Did you want to like try and set up terms with the Soul Speakers tribe, or did you want to leave that for another time? It's fine if
Uh,
you're just going to focus on one at a time.
if I have time for it, I would. I just didn't really see a giant opening.
Well, like I
Uh,
said, it's at least 5 days. So like in that time, it's not a big deal for you to like sweep in and chat with and try and set things up because it's pretty much just you going from group to group and convincing stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Pretty much when I'm in Mishann, I'm probably trying to reach out to House Frask because I don't want, it's very much well, the Sutar screwed them over, so I don't, out of principle, I don't want them screwed over because I hate Sutar. I especially hate the Peckway.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's fair.
so, it's very much like unironically, it's the fucking, you know, I'm not, like Yeah, literally the fucking like, I don't care if you win. I just need to see the Sulitar lose. Though more
That's fair.
diplomatic, like
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. If you help in, if you chime in, you're part of a respected group, both sides, and Thrash, no, like I said, you saved his ass. The leader of Thrash is very much willing to listen to you guys. You could have completely finished him off. He's willing to give limited permission with supervision, or excuse me, the Soul Speaker's leader is willing to give limited permission with supervision to Thrash if they can provide regular like ship transport between the Volcori or excuse me, Volcoridal is like the general term for all of them, of the islands and mainland Zendrick. Um, like basically, if when there needs to be a big tribal movement, if they're willing to help set that up, that's their condition for basically mining in parts of their swamp under supervision, so they don't do the same shit.
yeah. I will give a non-committal reply. Uh, and that would be something I would bring up to the party is like if like we could potentially use the boat to do that like at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because once again, their time scale, they say like it might be soon, within a couple years, that type of thing. Uh, but if he might not be back yet, but in to answer Purser's um offer here to the sister, Dan, if you're here, I don't know, type something funny. He's not back yet. But yeah, it's definitely with you helping out. That is the best shot that House Thrash has to open mining stuff on this island properly. So with that, they're able to start getting some Sabirus Dragon Shards, or at least in a couple months they'll have some actual output coming from the Souls Light Swamp, or at least parts of it. They're being watched pretty hard by the Volcori, but make sure they don't start digging up like sacred trees and shit. But yeah, works. Okay, Purser. Delighted to have you here. Colony, introduce primary contacts. So, are you planning to leave the sister to handle stuff, or are you going to like bring her along and like you learn by combat? Like, just so I know what NPCs to have with you guys. She's a GR1 half. We can get her higher. Throw her at a Kraken.
If
Bring
she
her along.
makes it,
Okay.
she'll be level like 10.
Bring her along. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Uh, down here. So Jotazo has handled setting up some mining stuff. Mercy has set up care for her old, or not old, for her shop. And Purser has gotten an important letter and now has a very dedicated helper, we'll say. She's very enthusiastic. If Purser, by your standards, she seems a little rigid. Like she's a little, not. She's a little devout, like a little over the top. Um, by other people's standards, fanatic might be a word that comes up, but that would be rude to say out loud. Uh, yeah, exactly. You just got to adapt to things a little bit. Um, but let's see here. Okay. With that in mind, Balthazar, that was what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to ask. Balthazar, was there anything you wanted to do with your at least 5 days of downtime before you set off for the mainland?
Take care of no, old gray, and I got a new idea.
Okay, I love ideas.
I, during those 5 days, would like to learn a new language, if that's possible.
Okay, well, the language thing, I actually do the same thing for skills as languages. And let me just grab it here. 5e General, Watsy, it is Cendric's Guide. There we go. Language tutors, yeah. Yeah, honestly, with a good tutor. Okay, let's see. Okay, languages.
I like to learn Primal.
Primal. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, got a teacher right there. You've got actual elementals to learn it from. Dungeon Master's tools here. I'm just looking downtime. Here we go. 134. There we go. Training. Uh, Training in language or tool or skill, I allow skills, takes at least 10 work weeks, but the time is reduced by a number of work weeks equal to the character's intelligence modifier. Intelligence penalty does not increase the time needed. I'm going to hand wave the cost because that's a little silly to keep track of at this point, especially if you're learning from, Primal from an actual elemental. Here's 25 gold for my week's lessons. Stares at you, burns it. And
Oh,
yeah,
those
so
if it's an Earth elemental, he may like it.
yeah, that's true. That might eat it. But either way, I'm not gonna like nitpick on that. So it's 10 work weeks. Work week is 5 days. And then minus your whatever your int modifier is. So it could be, instead of 10, if you have a +5, it's just 5 work weeks. But either way,
Neutral int mod.
okay. So then instead of 10 work weeks, you have 1 work week down of it. And if you want, you could keep learning it during the sailing thing. If you want to count that as downtime, just I would say to make a little note on your sheet and or in Discord or whatever you're going to look at. And yeah, your first work week is down for learning Primordial. Man, that is a good use of it. I know one of the things I always like to do with downtime is get languages. But okay. And with that in mind, I think that's about everybody besides Bemi, which we will handle next session, no problem. The 5 days go by, new month arrives along with various packages from Corvair. Almost said Corvar. And do you guys want to leave? Probably not on the first, but like, what day do you want to set out on? Like second of the month, third of the month, 20th. Like, how do you want to handle that? 13th, type of thing. One moment. Let's check.
So 5 days out of a 5 work week, right?
Yes. 5 days is 1 work week.
Okay, so all right, so I got 4 weeks ago.
Well, it's the standard is 10 minus your int
10.
modifier.
So
now
it's 9.
it's down to 9. Yep. And normally in D&D that would be punishing. With how much downtime I throw at you guys, probably shouldn't take too long. Like I said, just keep note of it on your sheet somewhere, just so it's not like, DM, I was learning it. How far am I? I don't know. Let me listen through recordings. But let's see here. One moment. I will give 1 moment. He probably doesn't have a lot of time for it, but let's see. Actually, I wanted to ask, are you guys like, no time preference here. Okay. Are you guys going around and like telling everyone you're doing this, or are you trying to make a secret of it, or is it just like, it's business, you've done this kind of thing before, they'll figure it out? No need to make a secret. Yeah, I didn't think so, but figured I'd ask. In that case, the MKA Adventurers Guild will be left in the hands of your most promising newbies. I'm not telling them about the crown though. Okay, The crown is a really good item. It is legitimately, not quite artifacted, but it is, I think it's either very rare or legendary. But my contention is that was held by Sire until the morning happened. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fair. That is a bit of a hot potato item. Uh, now I think on the upside, Thrain probably doesn't want the crown of the 5 nations. Thrain probably doesn't have a direct use for it. They don't want symbols of, monarchy. Uh, zoom in here. Yeah, that's fair. Uh, but yeah, in that case, the time comes up. Well, let's say you leave on the second. You know what? I'll make a note of it here. Leave on the second after you've got your mail delivery. Leaving on the second of Drovega. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Then so you guys have your crew of 30 plus people, including a reluctant but he's been assigned to you. He's a bureaucrat to his soul. He'll stay with you. Sardad Yajek, Sardad Yajek, the uh, technically he's a member of your adventuring party in the sense that he was assigned to be part of this multinational or what is it, extraditional legal thing where it's like he's not bound by the laws. Alum Cusp, the leader of Alum Cusp, assigned him to go around with you guys as an excuse for basically so that they could kind of watch you and also so that they could have the appearance of one of their own people with your party when you go around and ignore laws. Um, but he's going with you, as reluctant as he is about it, because he was told to do it, and he listens to direct requests from basically the Pope. But you have that. You have Purser's new apprentice or acolyte, whatever you want to call her, who's eager to bring the light of the Silver Flame, the real light, to Stormreach. Not like those filthy heretics, and as well as your crew. And you end up. Let me look here. Yeah. You leave Mishann's harbor. A few folk from town have showed up to see you off, and a surprising number of just like I won't say it's a sleepy town. Everyone works hard every day, but it's still there's a lot of farming in this community. So seeing the big ship that they're used to seeing leave is and word has gotten around that you're going to be gone for a while. So a lot of folk have showed up. They're waving, yelling things. A lot of kids. Um, and you see that the governess Magdalora or Thavar has shown up. Prince Orgev himself, Roslin or Ostrin, the archaeologist, is also there, as well as the fortune teller Oust. He is there seeing you off as well. He just kind of wanders around. He's a weird dude, so he didn't give you any dire warnings when you left, so probably not. That so far that's been his main interaction with you, is he occasionally popped in and gave you cryptic warnings about things. Um, but yeah, Rosalind's gone. I assume you guys didn't want to take her, but if you could, I can retcon that, no problem. But either way, um, the first 2 days out of Mishann's harbor are relatively uneventful, as you hug the western coast sailing north. Uh, she probably would want to stay because Stormreach Stormreach has an industry around giant artifacts and stuff like that. So it's kind of harder to get that hey, this site hasn't been looted to all hell and back experience that she's getting here. So she's probably going to stay. Um, the but yeah, as you hug the western coast, sailing north, the first 2 days uneventful. Nearing the beginning of the third day, you go by one of the new clan holds. Which, at this point, you're up here. Just check the meme.
And who owns this one again?
This is one of the new clans that was formed in the aftermath of you guys basically shaking the entire culture and turning it upside down. The clan Lusaragro, and the Lusaragro Cull is being built on an overhang that isn't quite large enough to be a cliff, but still well above sea level. Construction seems split between fairly typical Sulatar-style homes with their kind of blocky, brutalist design made of stone, and about half a dozen narrow spires, pretty tall, like 4 or 5 stories up. The exact purpose becomes clear when you notice the 30 or so fire sleds that fill the air around the city, or the growing settlement, rather. It'll never be a city, but it'll be a clan hold eventually. They must be docking points. For those of you from Corvair, you notice they could easily be used as airship docking towers, assuming the elementals bound in the fire sleds have roughly the same needs. Docking towers are, think of them as like airports. It's when you have an elemental airship, it needs to dock at a docking tower in order to quote unquote land. That helps keep the elemental from getting worn out. Um, it's and keep it under control. It's like I said, think of it like an airport. But this clan seems to have a lot of fire sleds, and their docking towers, or these spires could be used as docking towers. You see where the clan hold has planted where the clan has planted their first crops. But given how many fishing ships scatter around your Riptider, it's clear that much of their food comes from the sea. And yeah, this is a new group. You saw their clan head briefly at the gala, but nobody interacted with her. This is the new lesser clan under the elevated Apami clan. If you guys want to stop and see the settlement, or if you wanted to just sail right on by, that's an option too.
Yeah, let's keep rolling.
Okay, fair enough. Second, okay. Uh, Continuing along the coast. By the time your ship begins the end of its charge, for the third day going on fourth, the second new clan hold that you'll see from the coast has come into sight. Or, well, it would if it wasn't being built out of the ruin of Aelera. The ancient giant boarding school was hidden from sight by an illusion of a sea cliff for tens of thousands of years. And it seems they've left the illusion in place. But when the new lesser clan of Omante was choosing the site of their clan hold, they preferred this mostly subterranean cliffside ruin. The majority of this one isn't visible, even when you pass through the illusion, but they did finish a few docks built into the natural harbor. Probably first thing to be built, given most of the new clan came from one of the mainland city-states. There's plenty of fishing ships here as well, with farms and orchards being planted atop the cliff. And your charge is about done as you like kind of pull into the harbor. Not you can get off the ship and like visit the still being built settlement, or you can just kind of hang out here in the harbor for the night. But either way, that's the end of your charge for the day. Did you guys want to visit, or did you want to just hang out in like a relatively safe harbor?
Um. Well, Joseph.
Did he cut out for anyone else? I just realized we have 2 muted people. Scott and other Sam. Other Sam, did Scott cut out for you? Yeah, that's fair. Up, up.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yep, yep.
I get
Okay,
into it then.
I was going to say Jojo votes no, just because he doesn't want to hang out with Solitar.
Yeah, and Purser's got a good point. Ah, okay. I think it was just me. Yeah, I did notice that when other Sam didn't reply, I was like, this may not be Scott. Okay. Then in that case, you guys can just hang out here and listen to the sounds of construction and move on in the morning. This isn't like I was trying to get you guys to do stuff. It was literally just if you want to explore. I had a little bit, but I'm happy to not do it. Okay. So, it's another day and a half of sailing north before the ship officially leaves the coastline and heads out into open waters, where you'll be, leaving the island chain for the first time since you got here, as far as shipping. Stopping anywhere is not a nightmare. I'm sure there's a lot of nice places to stop. But see here, since you're getting onto the bigger map, we'll go to it. Okay. It'll be a little over 5 days until you reach Sorrow Dusk Island, a small island less than 20 miles wide that's sort of your halfway point. You don't have to stop there. If you want to avoid it, you can. I just kind of assume the party, like, if trade is going to start happening between Stormreach and Mishann, that's going to be a spot that the people on more mundane ships are going to have to visit as they head where you're going. Also, you'll probably need water. Uh, like especially with a full crew, you will need to replenish water, fresh water at some point, or beer. I don't know. I don't know how authentic I'm going. We'll say water. You can purify it. You have magic. We won't go the old English nonsense.
I
Where
don't know what a
it's
dragon shard is, but sure, maybe there's like 50 over there.
dragon shards are like, think of it like a mixture of coal and, yeah, coal's a good analogy. They're basically what fuels most of Corvair's magical innovations. Um, like if it's a rare magical component, you can just grind up Eberron dragon shards and use it in place of it. Um, they're they're a big reason why
Super
magic
cold,
went.
got it.
Yeah, they're a big reason why magic went like industrial in Corvair. But let's see. I can't think of any reason. Lasaradusk Island, as far as the party knows, it's on the map and it's big enough that it probably has fresh water. But it's one of those things where there's not a lot of other details you know about it. But yeah, let's just take you out into the open waters here, a little bit further here. As you sail north into the open waters and away from the islands for the first time, the the sea really kind of opens up. You're still technically in the Sea of Lost Souls, but you're bordering where it becomes the Thunder Sea. You'll be hitting the line probably about the same time you hit Sorrowdusk Island. And on the 8th day of sailing, as the sun is setting, you guys are a little surprised, although at this point you're used to ocean stuff. Something rises from the sea directly in front of the ship. It makes no impact in the water. Instead, it looks like a partially translucent outline of a humanoid with squid or octopus features. You recognize it as one of the races of undersea folk that live around the islands, aka Cicalia. There we go. Put a pronunciation guide for myself. Or at least it was. Its emaciated and ethereal form would be a giveaway that it is now likely an incorporeal undead. The ghostly being speaks, its voice ringing out across the freshly darkened waves. You are passing through the newly conquered territory of the Dread Queen Lateria, rightful ruler of all seas and bringer of everlasting night. You will pay your tribute or face complete consumption.
What's kind of tribute?
Yeah, this being says you will surrender half of the hateful energy you radiate.
What hateful energy?
I would Purser. Oh, I'll voice Purser briefly. Purser, you get the feeling that if this is an undead, especially Mabar an undead, hateful energy would be a reference to like life energy, as in basically surrendering.
Half the crew, huh?
Well, no, half of the health basically, which you could you have enough crew that you could just kind of uh, Dragon's tax this and just throw them into the blender. Or you guys could have your PC health gets halved for 2 weeks. Or you could tell this ghost to fucking, go to hell. Or Kyber or whatever. It's up to you. You did hear something from the captured um, pathetic attack that was made on your ship one night about like Kraken Kings beneath the waves, and there was like a Lich Queen that was invading. But it was kind of a like it was kind of a this is very much not our problem. Good luck, guys. Uh, uh, Understandably so. It's I can deal with the line from Archer. I can deal with old folk murder mystery, or I can deal with baby, but I can't deal with both. Um, uh, so what do you guys want to do? There is a ghost tax collector in front of you. Yeah, I would say they would. That's a good point. That is definitely their business to know. The Sahagwin guides are primarily in the Thunder Sea. They know from the occasional sailor who's stupid enough to like deal with Darkwat, um, that there is a deal at least along the coast, like along this part of the map, in the Sea of Lost Souls, with the Kraken Queen that rules that area. They also know that the Sea of Lost Souls is split up between a bunch of constantly warring ones. So it's kind of like it's not quite the Balkans, but it is a bunch of warring nigh immortal entities constantly throwing shit at each other. You can bribe some to keep them from fucking with you, but each one of them is eccentric to say the least. Um, and they're aware in the same way you are is that the waters around the islands, the Kepiran Islands, are currently a contested zone between a apparently particularly brutal, like physically brutal sorcerer king, Kraken King, and this like undead Kraken Queen who's apparently trying to take it over. So that's between the crew and what you guys already know, that's the picture you're able to get. You don't have like exact boundaries, but you have an idea of what's happening. I mean, give me uh give me a religion or arcana check. Anybody who's trying to figure out, especially mercy or purser. This is very much in you guys' wheelhouse. Nice.
Would you be able to do the religion check for me?
I can, no problem. Mercy, there we go. Okay. There it is. It's religion. Okay. Well, you got an 11. Purser got 22.
Wait,
But
Mercy doesn't have proficiency in religion.
to be fair, it's
Huh.
weird. Yeah, you have to go out of your way to pick it when you're going with cleric. It's not one of the just gimmies. Um, but yeah, exactly, easy to dump. But between the two of you, with the two of you, you're able to figure out that like it probably has some ability granted to it by like its I guess I could just say owner. This spirit, this bound undead, is just that bound. It's like at you guys' level, a single volley of like three arrow shots from a magic bow, cantrips. You could just reduce this thing to atoms almost immediately. Like I'm not even gonna make you roll for combat for it. It's a taxman who doesn't have a guard with him as far as you can see. Like if there's a threat, it's not from this thing. It's from the fact that you killed, Dread Queen so and so's taxman. Okay. I will say haggling is going to be tricky in the sense that like this thing is literally incapable of haggling. It's there to issue ultimatums and, you know, collect energy. But if you want to try and wrangle a bit of information out of it, um, you could give me a persuasion, I suppose intimidation, or something else if you feel. Yeah, it doesn't have enough free will for intimidation to be a factor. It's persuasion or whatever else could theoretically work here. I'm open to alternatives. Elbow one of the talkers. Oh, that's that's funny you say that because I assume you're elbowing Jotazo then. Oh. Jotazo, this seems like complicated underwater politics. What's your take? Holds up hammer.
Yeah, they just. I mean, then again, don't Wizard folk have like a weird relationship with the ocean?
Yeah, you view it as basically the afterlife, or at least an all. You view it as like where all magic and otherworldly shit comes from. So like that doesn't mean it's a good place. It's just the sea is an alien world, and that's where magic and otherworldly shit comes from.
In that case, I pretty much have a like I think we should you know you know you know th- you know this Kraken Queen sounds like a poison on the afterlife. I say we should kill her herald.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could be a fun one.
Like I said, I'm not even gonna make you roll if you want to just smashy smash. But as far as getting information before smash, um, like I said, you can roll for it or what have you. Okay, so
I
and
guess the option is kill.
I don't have persuasion, so
oh
I
no,
don't know what you
I
want
got
me to
you.
do.
No, I wasn't not in one person in particular. I was just waiting to see what happened. Yeah, in that case, um, yeah, I feel like, it waits patiently while you guys discuss it among yourselves, and then if you got like you could those of you who are volleying bullshit, like you can either just roll for it to show what you're doing, or you could describe to me like, I call down the might of the sovereigns and smite it, or what have you, Silver Flame. Things like a little, yeah, dispel evil. Yeah, this is very much an evil entity. And yeah, it lets out a like painful shriek of unnatural agony and is basically a like fog in a strong breeze just blown away. Um, and yeah, there you're not paying any taxes. Um, you don't talk to the government, and you're able to continue sailing on the next day. Oh wait, I see some typing. Ah, funny you say that. Um, the next day, the sea is a little choppy, but it's not too bad. The next night, however, the sea is much choppier. Pretty much as you like kind of winding down for things. And something emerges from the waves, we'll say. Um, a rumbling as something much more solid than previous erupts from the water in front of the ship, um, or at least nearby. It could be like maybe it's a whale or a sea drake or dragon turtle or something like that. But this in the moonlight, especially those of you with better night vision like Bemmy and such, you can make out some features that dispel that comforting notion pretty quickly. This what emerges, it's something that most of you have seen before, or at least this type of thing. It looks like a horrific combination of several sea monsters stitched together and rotting, and almost as big as the ship, actually. Um, you saw something very similar when sailing between the islands. Then it was fighting a young kraken. Now it seems quite focused on you and your ship, mm, which maybe this is the reply to the whole taxman thing. But I am going to have turn order come up, and I'll move you guys to the map. Let me put the baddie on. So go. Change layer, token layer. Yeah. And actually, I just realized I don't have you guys' actual tokens. Yeah, sorry.
We could take it.
I mean, you fought stuff for. Oh, you probably don't want the Drow wizard. Let's see. He appears, says "Oh, fuck," and leaves immediately. And so, also, don't forget, you guys have had a long rest in the interim. Oh, Jotiso, is that right? Okay. I'm going to banish him. And I'm going to add a turn for Riptider. That's your ship doing ship things when you wish it to do ship things. Let me add this guy's turn. Okay. The ship is just going to go on 0, basically. I'll have it go on 1. Yeah, just thank you. Put yourselves on the ship wherever you would like to be, or in the water if you're flying or running on the waves. Whatever you're capable of doing, but it seems not so friendly. And of course, the deck is full of sailors. I just don't want to completely clutter the map. Listen, I'm doing what I can. Eh? Yeah, you guys' tokens are ridiculously big, but otherwise, there's just no way you're going to show up properly. Um, actually, the ship and the monster are appropriate. You guys are just fucking huge by this map. But like I said, that way you can at least see. I do need initiative from. I can roll for Mercy, and I need it from.
Yeah,
Balthazar.
thank you. My connection has dropped, and I'm trying to get back on.
No, I appreciate it. All right. Let me select your token first. Help, Mercy. All right, here we go. Initiative. Come on, do the thing. It's 9.1. Could be worse.
Oh yeah.
Let me move it a little closer. Yeah, it would definitely be coming up with the intent to cause some fun. There we go. We'll say it's 75 feet away. And Balthazar, if you would be so kind as to roll into initiative.
Yep. Justin, and there we go.
Cool.
I'll never roll high on initiative, no matter what.
Well, Bemi's hogging it all. That's what's happening with all this. And if to be honest, you got the highest currently, so
Yeah, you're gonna go first. Stop
yeah,
complaining.
you're doing pretty good actually. Now that I look at it. Okay, yeah, Balthazar, what would you like to do? There's crew members running forward to the main and only cannon here. Getting ready to fire it. Let's see here.
Not that I'm asking for it to have been put in for this fight, but
Mhm.
wasn't one of the things we explicitly asked was to like take all the cannons or most of the cannons off the other ship, put it on ours.
Um, I know you were talking about putting like some stuff onto it, but I don't really remember if it went anywhere. But I know a lot of them were kind of the I think it did come up, but the main issue was that a lot of them just got completely wrecked when it crashed. But you could have put you could have gotten one of the indirect fire pieces kind of like welded onto the deck. That's definitely possible.
Like I think it was either that or it went to like Garrison Mishann.
I think it went to Garrison Mishann because you're right, it did come up. I think you got some artillery for Mishann so that the next time a ship parks, you can just shell it. Um, but
I mean again, either way is like it would have been for this fight anyways. It's just I was
well,
reminded that like we did
no, that's
that.
a fair point. The cannon, the giant arcane cannon you have on here, um, is one action to aim, one action to fire. The Riptider right now can take 3 actions, so you can fire like once per round, and like yeah, you can fire once per round and move. So definitely have that capability. But anyways, like by the way, if no one's unless the party members do it, the ship will fire its cannon and or move, or it has one extra action. Um, it'll do that on its turn. Um, like there's crew members on it, assuming you guys don't want to hop on. But with that in mind, Balthazar, what would you like to do? Balthazar, are you with us? Sam, bud?
All right. I will. Can I use a standard action to do a bonus action?
I don't think so. I think it's like one
That's
action, one bonus action. Yeah.
all right. That's fine. Bonus action to activate Eldritch Maw,
Okay.
and then I guess my other action to take the dodge a bonus. Shit.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Okay. Um, and Mercy, what would you like to do?
I would like to. Wait, am I unmuted? Yes,
Yep,
I am
you are.
unmuted.
I heard.
Yay! Finally. Oh, I've been spoiled by having 2 screens, and now I'm just on my laptop in the woods. Um,
Which, by the way, we'll probably finish this round and call it just because we have one person who can't talk and one person who's not here for combat. So I'll probably call it once we're done with the round. But I do appreciate everybody going along in spite of some missing elements here this week.
Oh, is he really 270 feet away?
He is, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, there's.
You can be where you want on the ship. I'm not gonna like contest that, but the ship's size and the monster size are roughly accurate. Yeah. You
Oh,
like the
okay.
actual scale for your characters. Like, yeah, you're not like 50 feet tall, but yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, like there. I don't think there's any spells that I can. Um, I'm gonna ready action with Told the Dead.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's fair.
It's a cantrip, so I won't lose the spell slot.
I got you. I got you. Fair enough.
So if it
So
comes within 60 feet of me, then
I will say to avoid a gotcha moment later on, it is an undead. So necrotic
wait.
might not be real effective against it, I will say. It might be, but just a heads up.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah, I
right.
just like I said, I didn't want to do like a gotcha moment, so.
Unfortunately, that's my only offensive cantrip.
Yeah, I've been there. That's my wizard has had firebolt the entire game because I was role playing and it's like that's immune to fire. Well, that's what I got. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much that's what I got.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll go to the deep undead's turn, and it's going to probably try and move towards you. Which it's gonna have to dash to get to you.
Oh wait,
So
actually, sorry.
yeah, he is.
Are channel divinities treated the same way as spells? For
That's a good question. Let me look at it here.
so like I have turn on dead, but
Mhm.
if I say I ready in action with turn on dead, and it doesn't get close enough for it to trigger.
Oh, I get you. Would you waste it as a spell slot? Well, let me look here. Um, that's a good question. Sentry, Turn undead. As an action, you present it. I would say no. Yeah, like it's not a spell explicitly, so the resource isn't wasted if it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
And in that case, this scale is going to be such a pain. Okay, so I can.
You can move yourself on the map. I'm not gonna make you like actually, oh, you're 100 feet away. You need to spend 5 turns running. Like you can move yourself along the ship reasonably without
Okay.
issues.
All right. So I'm just going to get kind of like close to it on the ship,
Yeah.
and ready. Turn on dead. It's probably going to be completely freaking useless against this thing, but hey, maybe it'll just roll really shitty.
Fair enough.
It'll get
Fair
close
enough.
and then get scared and run away again.
Could be. Yeah. I mean, would be a hell of a thing. Okay. Then it is going to swim forward. Go forward this close, and it's got a dash to get closer. But that's worth it because it wants to get closer. Swim under the ship somewhat. There's still tentacles writhing above the waves. And does it have any, let's see, bonus actions? There we go. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, it has to be grappling for that to work. Okay. Then it is just going to get closer, and you see like the 2 rotted shark fins out of the water, like as it dives down partially, shoot forward and cut through some of the waves. Writhing tendrils are getting close to the edge of the ship, but it needed to set itself up. So Cursor, what would you like to do? I see it there today. Of course. Ah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. 140 feet up, uh, interesting being springs into existence. And Avenger Defender. Cool, cool. I will try and put the stat. I'd put like the health and stuff into the stat block later, or into the little bubble. Thank you for just dropping. And anything else? Radiant Breath. Ah, I see, I see. Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah, it's definitely like it didn't completely submerge or anything. It didn't have any reason to. So 19 to hit does hit, and 19 radiant. Let's see if it's yeah, that goes right through and burns one of the tendrils that's sticking out of the water, and that hurts. Yeah, you guys probably would be mad at me if I added a 0. Let's see, minus that. Oh, 10 to hit. Oh, 10 does not hit, sadly. Um, okay, wait a minute. 24 for 16 and 10 for 19. Uh, oh, I see, I see. Yeah, yeah. For your 10 does not hit, but the 24 does. So 16 radiant. Cool. Yeah, so like it's 2 gouts of flame that kind of arc out, and the first one scores it, but the tendril whips back down into the water and keeps the next shot from connecting. That off? Why did that? One sec. Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, never mind. That is accurate. All right. That's it for Purser. All right, Jozo, what would you like to do?
Okay.
This thing is big
I-
enough that if it's that close, you can swing and you're gonna hit something as long as you're on the edge of the deck.
oh, okay. Like,
Yep, yep. Yeah, there's like
that,
tendrils whipping around near you. It's almost an area that you're fighting. That's how big it is.
Oh, so it got within 30 feet?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot about your thing. Let me trigger it.
Hang on, hang
Mercy.
on. A wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Okay. See what it does here. Wisdom. Deep undead. Wisdom. Let's see what they get. That's a fail, but it's going to choose to succeed because that sucks. All right, yeah, it doesn't want to just leave yet. It's been told to do stuff. It's going to do it.
Damn it.
One legendary resistance succeeded. One legendary resistance is down. That's a good use. Okay, Jotsuzo, sorry to cut you off.
okay. In that case, Joe Tsuzo is he'll let the crew. He'll stay close to the cannon and basically swing at any tendrils that get close to the cannon to protect the other crew.
I got
But
you.
yeah, he's gonna start swinging.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. One,
That hits.
two.
That definitely hits.
Okay,
Yes. All right.
that is 27 bludgeoning damage.
Kick ass, kick ass. And it's from a magical source, so there's no immunities that kick in, and you wallop the hell out of it. Wait.
Okay.
Minus duelist. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool, cool. All right. You gave it a good bonking. One of the tendrils, like the rotted tendrils, seems to just squish under the force of the second blow. And yeah, it doesn't yell out in agony or anything yet, but you've definitely taken a good chunk off. And before we end the turn, we will have the Riptider takes aim and fires from its cannon. One action aim, one action fire. No need to load it. Come on, do the thing. Fine. Okay, giant arcane cannon. Fire, range 700 feet to 2,800 feet. $21 to hit for 52 force damage. Yeah, it noticed that. Um, it's just like 3 or 4 tentacles just got completely sheared off from the force of that arcane cannon. And that one of the heads like screams in an unnatural, horrific bellow as seems like that hurt. Uh, and yeah, we'll go back top of the order, but I think this is a pretty good spot to end it for this week. Like I said, hopefully next week, all good things to your ears, and hopefully they will feel better, and we might even have Zach. Um, let's see here. Turn off recording.